The Gray Matter Project number 7, Luigi Mondelli here with my hobby, with my extra time posting things here on my YouTube and my Instagram. And like I promised in my last video, I will explain a little bit of my thought process as far as why big tech has been colluding with the big government, with the Democratic Party. And before you assume I'm a conservative or I'm a right wing person, hold your thoughts, hold your judgment. You're hearing from the horse mouth because I don't label myself in any category like that. I try to criticize whatever I think it's wrong. And for me, right now, what has been extremely wrong for a long time in a row is pretty much, well, we are living right now the results of all of this. So I'm not, it will sound political, of course, because it is somehow political. And also, I have been called subliminally by someone that aligns with the say more left, current modern American left. And let me put this way because I will develop more about what I just said in the future. But anyway, this person said that I am a intellectualism denier. And the reason why he said that, it's because all his hypothesis, or the hypothesis that this person defends based on a narrative, encapsulated narrative, in my opinion, do not work or are wrong based on my life experiences. So in my opinion, you can develop any beautiful hypothesis with in on your say uh, on your references. You can reference you to your knowledge and your degrees and your whatever college you went to for whatever, and it's beautiful, and you look at it, oh well, this guy is so, because that's how the people sometimes, oh, this looks great, oh, this is so intellectual and it just is so beautiful. But when you put that in practice and you see that it fails, is not the truth, and looks great on the paper. Oh, this is, I'm so evolved. I'm part of the elite and privileged, educated college graduate with masters and PhD. Hoo-hoo. Anyway, so because they're so presumptuous, and then, well, when you look at the results and you see that doesn't work like that, what do? You correct your papers, you correct your hypothesis. So you make that now a theory that, well, if you do this, the result most likely, based on evidence from many different, say, experiments based on the same hypothesis, resulted in this. So what I do, in my opinion, in my life, I go with the practice mostly versus the theory. Well, so why big tech is right now colluding with the big government? We have been forced to follow narratives based on philosophical ideas and ideologies, socio-economical ideologies. They're deeply rooted in Marxism. And I don't want, so let me, there's so much to explain about Marxism, but I will give you a quick parenthesis here. One of the things that Marxism does, and somehow postmodernists also do, is that immediately they try to say that, well, every right-wing person has this fixation about communism, Marxism, and all they do is talk about these things because they're paranoid about it. So it's a way to discredit a person like me, who, even I don't identify myself as a typical right wing, even though now I would say that I am siding with mostly with the right because of what I see on the left in the very, very deep layers, based on researches, based on reading, based on books that are non-biases, based on books that influence the left, like the Communist Manifesto, among others, and in the writings of many other different philosophers like Foucault or Derrida, and then etc. But which is not Marxism. This is most postmodernism. But the things in a very complicated way, interconnected right now. But so what they do is they try to make you sound dumb. Oh, this guy's so stupid. This guy's a intellectualism denier. This guy's this and that. But anyway, that's it's a tactic. And going back to what I was saying, what we see is the government right now and the Democratic Party right now has to keep everybody within the boundaries. So we are in a corral of ideas. We are not being able to go free range. We are just like around these fences and like a cattle going through a very narrow pathway in only one direction without being able to look around, without being able to go wander here and there in free range. Like, they have to keep us within these boundaries. But they cannot censor us because of our Constitution. We have our First Amendment. So literally the government, it's not able, due to our Constitution, to force limits in how we speak. But we do have a loophole. What is the loophole? Big tech. So let's talk about Google, Facebook, and all companies included. Facebook, Instagram, I guess TikTok or Twitter, which is an independent but separate, and Google and YouTube. So YouTube is an arm, another, say, company under Google, etc., etc. So those companies are private, and under their standards, they can regulate your speech. But how they have been regulating speech? I'll give a quick example here. So this is a Instagram from Mike Glover. And Mike Glover he's a former special operations guy, a patriot. He has a very amazing company that I guess Mike's mission is to make people more capable in all different areas. And he is a veteran with a really strong experience on the ground, as many other of friends that I have. And you can see here that he was blocked from sharing live video. Posts from your account have recently been removed for going against our community guidelines. What are these community guidelines? Community guidelines that don't really belong to Facebook or Google, but I guarantee to you those are the guidelines that will keep you within one narrative only. So that's why I propose to everyone to take a look and consider following the Dark Horse podcast when it comes to the virus situation, and just to entertain different ideas under the scientific point of views of many different researchers. So live video sharing has been temporarily blocked. What other name would you give to this besides censorship? And what censorship really represents in the United States? A violation of our First Amendment. And I guess this was, I'm not right, 100% right, I guess this was related to a video of a woman in Afghanistan speaking loudly against the current administration and Biden, an American woman. And I guess this video was going viral and right now has been taken down. So you see, the comparison that I make is that the government right now is like a mobster, and the big tech is like a hitman. The mobsters don't want to do the killing or the murdering of its enemies, but it's hiring the hitman, here represented by the big tech, to do the dirty work. So right now, big tech has been silencing every other voice contrary, I said it wrong, not contrary, but any other voice that contemplates going free range, going outside the corral, going outside the fences and the barriers. So if right now you just want to look outside, I just want to look what is this other opinion from this other researcher? What is this other narrative? Why they saying like, oh, it's not quite like the way they're saying in Afghanistan? Hold on a second. But then we have the first uh, person account, people that are there saying what they are saying. And again, this is me going back to the experience, the practice. People that are there speaking their minds based on what they are living for real, for real. But big tech censors, big media censors, because just like in my birth country, big companies, the big media loves big government. They love big government for many different reasons, and I will develop more of this in the future. So I strongly suggest to all of you to look for different platforms where you can have access to different first person accounts of many things. And when it comes to science, listen to other scientists and you do your research. See, go on some other web search, DuckDuckGo or something like that, and try to see. Never go to Wikipedia, because Wikipedia is not a source of information of any type. Wikipedia, anybody can edit at Wikipedia, folks. And many people don't go all the way down to the footer to see if the references really match. And in many cases, it takes a while for Wikipedia, I guess, to catch up to this modifications, these changes that probably are not true. So do your own research, exercise your critical thinking, and understand that big media, big tech are not in our side. And one message to anybody, if I have anybody that leans to the left, they're still watching this at 12 minutes and so, let me explain to you, because I love you as well as my brother and sister, in God. You might be happy now. You might be happy that you see people that you don't agree with getting silenced. Fact checkers that now we know are extremely flawed, like the guys from Snopes, etc. They have a um, very, how do I say, questionable ethics, right? Because again, they are working, they need to make money, and they make money working for the big tech social media conglomerates. And so this is pretty much oligarchy. I don't know if I'm saying the right word, but at the end is a big, what we call technocracy. It's not a democracy. The big tech dictating the rules of our democracy, dictating the rules of controlling speech, regulating speech. There's no law that really of course, unless I'm talking about being violent and destruction and terror and kind of stuff like that. Of course, that's a different thing. But me just speaking against what I'm seeing right now, or me just saying like, hey, look at this different opinion, that's my exercise over my First Amendment. So if you're a leftist right now and you're happy that the people that you oppose have been getting silenced, I tell you, be very careful, because one day it will be you. It not might be you. It will be you. It will be you. If I get silenced, if Mike Glover gets silenced, if anybody else gets silenced, one day it will be you too. Because you might change. You still want to be free to be a leftist. You still want to be free to be a right person or libertarian, or to not have any option, or to not be political. You want to be free. And my last suggestion is go back to learn American history and the values that our founding fathers applied to our Constitution. So that's why, in my opinion, big tech right now have been working, all the companies have been working as the hitman for the big mobster. And watch out, because right now it might be working for you, but it's a matter of time, because who silence one, silence all. Thank you.